Well, Amazon is not hiding it at this point. They are just flat out saying that they are diverting from Tolkien's works. It's right there in this article that we're about to go over today. But first, let me just shout out Culture Casino. Thank you so much for showing me this article, because if it weren't for him doing his live show today, I would never have heard about this, because this article dropped at 3:44 a.m. So this article is from Deadline. We're about to go over this from Lenny Henry. But why would the article come out in the middle of the night? Maybe because they didn't want people to read it or actually see it, but let's get right into it. Thank you again to Culture Casino. The Lord of the Rings star Sir Lenny Henry applauds Amazon's move away from Tolkien's fair-skinned characters to diverse cast. Veteran British comedian turned actor Sir Lenny Henry applauds the decision by producers of the Lord of the Rings series to create a racially diverse cast. Now, from that statement alone, there's nothing wrong, and I've said this before in many videos if you guys have watched me previously, that there's nothing wrong with diversity and inclusion of different races and backgrounds and thought processes and religions and everything. That's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. It's when you stray from the source material. It's when you create diversity and inclusion to promote a narrative and not promote a story. Because what Lenny Henry is saying here is that they diverted from Tolkien's works, they diverted from Tolkien's legacy and his legendarium to promote people with a different skin color for no apparent reason other than just, we have this person now. We have this skin color now, which is extremely disingenuous and inauthentic. Like I said before, if you guys have watched my videos, you know how important genuine people mean to me, and I think to a lot of other people, how important it is to have genuine, authentic people. And we don't see that from Hollywood, so let's keep reading. Henry plays Sadoc Burrows, a Harfoot, because they can't say Hobbit for copyright reasons, in Amazon's big-budget show which launches this Friday and which has diverted from Tolkien's original books and the Hollywood films, with their mainly fair-skinned characters. Henry told The Times, that's to do with it being the 21st century. People want to see themselves. Of course, if you go back, there's going to be that thing that prevails because the books don't say, although some of the characters are described as hard-skinned and darker in complexion. But that was then, this is now, and we're telling this story now. Right? This is the story that Tolkien never wrote. The book, they want to write the book that Tolkien never wrote. The sheer hubris of these statements. Now let me go back earlier to what it originally said. It has diverted from both Tolkien's original books and the Hollywood films. They're saying the silent part out loud now. They don't give two fucks about this. They are clear, and now we are a week away, not even 3 days away from release of this show, and they are just letting it all out. They are saying, we are completely diverting, we don't care about the source material, we don't care about Tolkien, because we want to tell our story. We want to put this in a time of now. And that's the biggest thing. This show is going to be timely, not timeless. Tolkien's legendarium is timeless. It has been translated. The books have been translated in over 60 different languages. So how in the world are we going to try and say that people haven't been able to see themselves in Tolkien's works? How are we seriously going to look ourselves in the mirror and say the Lord of the Rings by Tolkien has never included anyone of a different race or color skin or background or culture? It is absolutely ridiculous to think that Tolkien never intended to have a large, timeless legendarium. But this show is going to be overtly timely. We are going to look back at this show years from now, and we're going to be saying, this was made in 2022. This was made simply for the reason of promoting an agenda. And that's all it is. Another thing I wanted to mention is that Lenny Henry says here that that's to do with it being the 21st century. People want to see themselves. I understand And there is nothing wrong with people seeing themselves in characters. But to be so shallow that you can only see yourself if they look like you, or if they act like you, or if they have the same skin color as you or hairstyle as you, it is so superficial. And it's sad because there are so many more things that make up individuals. Your character, how you treat people, how you deal with adversity, who you are at your core. But no, people just want to see a skin color and say and clap and say that that is inclusion, that is representation, that is diversity. The last thing I wanted to mention from this article is that he goes on to say, I didn't see anybody in charge of anything that looked like me for a long time. So that is lonely, he told the Times. You've got all these people now saying the same things that I started saying in 2000, which is the industry needs to change and can it hurry up, please? Who are these people then? These look like the showrunners. These look like your bosses. And if you look at Jeff Bezos, he's a white guy too. So people in power or people in charge, why are we seeing two white guys directing the show? Why are the showrunners just another two white guys? Why is it that Lenny Henry says, I didn't see anyone in charge of anything that looked like me for a very long time? Well, unfortunately, Lenny, in this show, there are still people that don't look like you who are in charge of this. You are an actor within the show, but if you're talking about people in charge, that's Jeff Bezos and these showrunners. That's what's so ridiculous about a lot of these claims, is that when you hear stuff like this, when you hear these quotes, a lot of them are based in hypocrisy or just nonsense. What does that even mean? People in charge? Like I said, the people in charge of this show don't look like you. And that's that. If you really wanted that true diversity and inclusion, then shouldn't the two showrunners be two African-American men or women? I don't know. I mean, you tell me. So that's what's so frustrating about all of this, is the hypocrisy. These people admitting the fact that they are diverting completely from Tolkien's legacy and legendarium. There's nothing that they won't corrupt at this point. We are 3 days away from seeing this show in theaters, which they are going to start releasing to the public in the US. I'm not sure how they're going to do that in the UK or across the globe. But here in the US, they will be releasing the first 2 episodes, I believe, in the theaters across the US. And we're going to see. We are going to finally see what comes of this show and how much it diverts from Tolkien. Because at this point, like I said, from this article, they're not holding back now. They are openly expressing the fact that this is diverting from his works and that they don't care. It doesn't matter to them. So we're going to see how well the show actually does when the actual Lord of the Rings and Tolkien fans watch it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Huge shout out again to Culture Casino for showing me this article. I'll see you guys in the next video.